Alright guys, if you didn't pay attention to regular wrestling news like a normal human being, I'm joking about that of course, but Thunder Rosa had some thoughts about Brock Lesnar from a storyline from like from a decade ago, like decades ago. And this is talking and literally going over Brock Lesnar insulting her heritage, insulting her culture, of course, with his feud with Eddie Guerrero, and of course, I went over to What Culture thinking about it, and it was like, well, it was insulting, but that match at No Way Out '04 though, such a great match. The match was great, and it's like you know that the writers did that, right? It wasn't in Brock's creative index to make a storyline where he's insulting. There's many other characters that insulted the culture of Eddie Guerrero or your culture in general, Thunder Rosa. So just shut up for like 10 seconds and know like that era was still the Ruthless Aggression era was politically incorrect for like majority of their run until like '08. They were doing mariachi bands for fucking almost any other Latino star. They did it for Chavo Guerrero when he won the ECW World Title and CM Punk jumped him, and they did it for Alberto Del Rio when he won the goddamn Rumble. Why do they need mariachi bands? Pinatas. Eddie Guerrero was a whole negative stigma of your culture. But no, he was over, so Brock is a dick for bringing the... Thunder, do you guys ever shut up? I don't get it. What did Brock do from '03 that insulted you so? All because he came around dancing around over a mariachi band, obviously doing something to get heat. I can tell you, I read about me and bringing the mariachi. I remember Brock Lesnar making fun of Eddie Guerrero with that. That hurts because it was making fun of my culture before. On Wednesday, I represented the culture properly, the honor and with respect, because people were mariachi fun. Like, let's make fun of Mexicans. You're making fun of something from over 15 years ago. Why are you now trying to push that over for something like Brock was the one that made that storyline overall? So you don't get upset over Eddie Guerrero literally being a sleazy Latino that cheats, lies, cheats, steals. You don't think that's a narrative stigma? It's like me being upset that Crime Time was a thing when they're the people that booked over Crime Time. And Crime Time was actually okay with the character. Like Eddie Guerrero was okay with Brock using the mariachi band to get heat. Thunder Rosa, can you shut the fuck up? Nobody even watched your main event back with Britt Baker back on Dynamite anyway. Nobody cares that you represent your country proud. People gotta watch. Brock did that so he can make sure Eddie Guerrero triumphs over him. That's the whole point. And guess what happened? The rest is history. I don't get it. You don't think we don't do insulting cultures about Hindus, homosexuality, lesbians, mental disabilities? You don't think there's a bunch of jobbers over in AEW probably admitting that they have partial autism? How come they don't get upset about Eugene? But they'll get upset about Brock Lesnar. You'll get get upset over something filmed for 15 years ago. Like Brock was responsible. Like, I mean, maybe I should get the mariachi band and mock Eddie Guerrero. Like John Cena didn't call Eddie a wetback. Say Kurt Angle coming around saying a person like him doesn't deserve to be a world champion. And by the way, that was over his drug issues, not because he was it also had to go with his stigma of lie, cheating, and stealing, and that he also had drug abuse, like he wasn't a real champion. Or Booker T. You know how many people still give backlash over to that Reign of Terror bullshit? And Triple H was calling Booker T a guy not to be world champion, and the immediate thing is he's black. Immediately. I don't know where you're getting like all offended for, Thunder Rosa. You're a grown ass woman, and this is something over times we're making fun of culture, like making fun of cultures like that was obviously the norm around '03. Like American Pie wasn't a thing in pop culture back then, or the scary movies, or plenty of other stuff that made fun of your culture worse than WWE did. And then you have the right to just force over your narrative, trying to feel like Brock is a piece of shit instead of the writers, even though that's what they've been doing for a very long time anyway. I don't get this. And I think the right path to do a lot more on one storyline right now for women. I don't think people are saying anything about that. I always thought that there was a growing pains before things started working the way they should by working right. But I think we all working very hard to sharpen our skills. Yeah, and that is in the ring, on our promos and presentation. So I think as a champion, I will be a little more outspoken on the terms. Yeah, over something over 15 years ago. What was that even setting an example of? You're literally bringing over women's issues into something over 15 years ago. You take it like somebody was saying that your storyline had to be like Brock Lesnar and Eddie Guerrero. I swear nobody brought that up. Thunder Rosa, I find you okay, but like you do nothing to elevate even the women's division or even elevate people even watching your show more. Just stop trying to always push over the narrative that WWE is a piece of shit for stuff that they were doing longer than you and people were still watching. You can't even beat WWE and they're worse. I need you to chill and and you shouldn't even be trying to get pissed off at the Brock Lesnar mocking Eddie Guerrero's culture, your culture with a mariachi band. You should be pissed off that your women's division, your heightened charity of a women's division that needs $50 of support, can't even get a main event on one of the 4 fucking pay-per-views in a calendar year. Sad. Just is kind of depressing the way that this is how you guys are like really trying to push over the envelope, and you're still trying to set the example of a company that's still going to be proceeding more than you and treats the women's division like it even matters. Even how terrible it is, at least they treat it like it's a competent part of the show. Tony Khan obviously treats your women's division like a charity case. That's it for me. Thanks for watching, and screw Cody Rhodes. That's it for me.